to the Insane Asylum, or I mean Liberty Marksman.
Yeah. Today we're going to be talking about Seekins Precision muzzle devices. We've got two, because there's only two to choose from. It's their flash hider and their muzzle brake.
If you see at the beginning of the film, we rolled in footage of just firing the rifle with their muzzle brake, and you can see there's quite a bit of muzzle rise, and you'll also see there's quite a bit of recoil.
Yeah, I find that it's with the flash hider, you're actually pulling that thing in a lot tighter than you really have to with the brake.
Yep.
Brake is just a real easy acquisition where you're kind of pulling it in and trying to stop that recoil before it ever happens. And whenever you're anticipating, your shot's not going to be all that great.
Yeah, and we're not expecting anything more than what it does being a flash hider. Its
right.
job of minimizing muzzle flash is really good.
Yeah.
And it looks awesome. So when you have a custom rifle, and if you are just running a flash hider, this is a great option.
It's got a real aggressive look to it.
Mm-hmm. Gives it that deadly...
door breaching look.
Yep.
Right?
Or spear shooting. So after shooting that for a while, I was nice enough to let Scott borrow my Seekins Precision muzzle brake.
I took it right off his gun.
I let him think that.
Yeah, sure.
So let's bring in here. We're going to show you how to change this because it's a little different. You're not running up against a crush washer. Yeah. And it's got a really cool design, so not to bring it in close for you to see it would be a shame. Alright, so this is the Seekins brake. As you can see, this one's stainless steel, but man, has it got a cool look to it. And it's actually got holes out the front, and then their logo on it. And then instead of running this up against a jam washer, it's got a knurled back nut, which is really cool. And for some barrels that aren't too thick, it is recessed, so you can thread it down the barrel and then use that to jam it there, and then that gives it a clean look coming in your barrel. All right, let's pop this muzzle brake off, and we'll show you what we're talking about. Like I said, if you're just running a flash hider, because you don't want the noise of a muzzle brake or the blast, you know, some ranges get pissed off when you run a muzzle brake. This is a really cool option, gives you a different look. But having this recess in it is nice, but you got to understand that you can't run it all the way down because you can see the gap and the threads between the barrel and where the threads stop. It'll actually thread off, and then it's just kind of hanging there loose. But you do want to run it down as far as you can. And you can see that covers that gap up, and I just usually run it down till it does fall off there, and then I'm going to back it up about 5 full turns. That way I know that I've got my full thread purchase there. So I'm going to go ahead and thread the actual brake on itself, and then here you can, if you find that you got a little twist in your rifle, you can try clocking it to get that out. This one does not. So I'm just going to get it lined up perfectly straight down my rail with their logo. And then there's a couple ways. I have not had it loosen up. If I just bring it back a little from where I want, run the nut up against it, and then hold it on the knurling, and you kind of tighten it and lock it into itself. If you really want, you can put a pair of pliers on here and tighten it that way, but I just do it by hand, especially when it's hot and haven't had it. Let's take this thing out to the field and see how she performs.
We'll show you a little bit before the break and a little after the break.
Dude, the gun doesn't fucking move.
I am. Been a long day.
Dude, the gun doesn't move when you shoot.
No, it stays pretty good, but I'm shaking like a leaf. Boom.
How it performs. It's a really good break, and I know I'm probably going to catch some shit for this, but I thought it was pretty damn comparable to the Jerry.
To the Jerry Mitchell.
It might be a straighter line.
Yeah, I could see the correlation with that.
The only thing is, compared to the Jerry Mitchell break, you're looking at damn near double the price. These come in around $85 or so.
Yeah, the flash hider is about 40-ish, but.
I will say, compared to a lot of muzzle brakes, and they talk about this on their package, and it seems to be true, the design with the added holes in the front kind of help throw the sound forward a little bit more. It's quite a bit quieter than
I didn't notice
most
getting
muzzle brakes.
Really blasted with sound. And,
yeah. I mean, you still get the typical blast of gas that you get from a muzzle brake.
Yeah.
But it's not nearly as loud.
No, not at all. So tell us what you think. Leave us some comments and down below, and like, share, and subscribe.
Check us out on Facebook and Instagram. And remember, don't take liberty
for granted.